Everyone in finance talks about becoming a millionaire, but forget that for a second. The real turning point, the number that actually changes your life, it's a lot smaller than you think. Once you hit this specific milestone, the entire game shifts. So let's dive in and find out what it is.
Does it ever feel like you're just stuck? Like you're working so hard, trying to get ahead, but you're just not making any real progress? If you've ever felt like you're fighting an impossible uphill battle with your finances, trust me, you are not alone, and there's a really good reason for that feeling.
This right here, this is the perfect way to think about it. Building wealth is all about momentum. That first big push, just getting that heavy boulder moving, that's where all the effort is. It's where most people get exhausted, and honestly, it's where they give up. But there's a specific point where that boulder finally reaches the top of the hill.
And that turning point? It's $20,000. Yeah, that's the number. This is the magic threshold that really separates people who build serious wealth from those who are stuck living paycheck to paycheck. Before you hit this number, you are pushing that boulder uphill. After, you finally have gravity working for you.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Because the biggest change isn't about the math, not at first. The real magic, the secret sauce, happens inside your brain.
Think about this. It's such a great analogy. When your house is on fire, you're not thinking about where you're going to go on vacation next summer, right? You're just trying to put out the fire. Well, with no savings, your brain is constantly in that house is on fire survival mode. It's so consumed by immediate threats that it's literally impossible to think long term.
And just look at the difference here. It is night and day. On the left, in survival mode, you're just reacting. You're constantly putting out fires. But on the right, once you have that financial buffer, your brain can finally switch into growth mode. The question completely changes from how do I survive to how can I grow this? You become proactive instead of reactive.
And check out this research from Vanguard. It's really telling. Just having $2,000 in savings gives your financial well-being a huge 21% boost. But getting that up to around $20,000, well, that gives you enough breathing room to truly shift your brain out of that constant survival mode and into strategic, long-term thinking.
Now that psychological shift gets supercharged by the raw power of math. Your financial boulder doesn't just get to the top of the hill, it starts rolling down the other side, picking up speed. It becomes a snowball.
Look, getting to that first 20 grand takes serious discipline. If you're putting away $1,000 a month, it's going to take you about 19 months. That's over a year and a half of consistently saying no to things, of making sacrifices. It's a grind, and it's why so many people stop.
But check this out. The second $20,000, that only takes 17 months. Why? You're saving the exact same amount. It's because your first $20,000 is now working for you. It's making its own money through compounding. You're doing the same work, but you've already shaved 2 months off the clock. And this just keeps accelerating until it gets almost absurd. The same amount of money that took you nearly 2 years of grinding to save can eventually be generated automatically by your investments in just a few months. That's the power of the snowball. But you see, you can't have a snowball without first making that first little ball of snow. Starting is everything.
Hitting this milestone does something way more important than just putting money into your account. It's about forging a completely new identity for yourself.
Just think about what it takes to get there. You have to track your spending, you have to delay gratification, you have to stay consistent month after month. By doing that, you prove to yourself, maybe for the first time, that you are in control of your financial destiny. And that shift in how you see yourself, well, it changes everything.
This is such a perfect real-world example of that change. Before, when you're living on the edge, a surprise $1,000 car repair is an absolute disaster. It's a crisis. But after, it's just an inconvenience. It's annoying for sure, but it's just a problem you solve, not a catastrophe that wrecks your life.
And what's even better, you start seeing opportunities that were literally invisible before. That's because having capital gives you options. Your friend's startup idea isn't just a cool story anymore. It's a potential investment. You can take calculated risks and say yes to things that can actually accelerate your future.
This financial security also hands you a secret superpower in your career. It's something people call walking away money. As soon as you don't desperately need your next paycheck to survive, the entire power dynamic at work flips on its head. You're not trapped anymore. You can go into any negotiation, any conversation from a position of quiet strength, because you know you have the freedom to walk away if you have to.
And this is where it all starts to feed on itself in the best possible way. Having that money changes your demeanor. You become more confident. You're more willing to ask for what you deserve, to take on bigger challenges. And guess what? That leads to better assignments, more recognition, and a higher income, which just accelerates your wealth building even faster. It's an incredible virtuous cycle.
Okay, but this is the moment where so many people who get this far make a huge critical mistake. After all that hard work, they face one final test.
You have to understand this. That first 20 grand is not a reward to be spent. It's not for the new car or the fancy vacation. It is the seed. It's the foundation of everything that comes next. And you have to plant it and protect it so it can grow.
This all comes down to a concept called opportunity cost. It's not just about what something costs you today. The real question is, what future gains are you giving up by spending this money now? What is this purchase really costing you?
Let's make this crystal clear. That shiny $30,000 car, it doesn't cost you 30 grand. When you factor in what that money could have become if you'd invested it, that car could easily cost you $200,000 in lost growth over 20 years. When you look at it that way, suddenly that decision becomes incredibly clear, doesn't it?
Look, hitting that first $20,000 isn't about getting rich quick. It's about changing the game. It's the difference between surviving and thriving, between letting life happen to you and designing the life you want. It gives you the mindset, the momentum, and the foundation to build real, lasting wealth. Your future self is waiting for you to make that first push. So, what choice are you going to make today?